Hello and welcome to Notes and Chords, the Hindu series on appreciating music. Through conversations with seasoned artists and young practitioners experimenting with new formats, we try to decode both form and technique across genres just so we can enjoy the different elements that make up a song or piece of music that we love. In today's episode, we are very happy to have with us the acclaimed bass guitarist Keith Peters, best known for his work and collaboration with A.R. Rahman for over 3 decades now. A largely self taught musician who comes from a very musically inclined family, Keith Peters has been a formidable name in Indian film music. We have heard the grooves from his bass guitar in many of A.R. Rahman's path breaking songs, and today he will take us through his journey, especially with Rahman from the 1990s onwards, and the nuances of playing the bass guitar for film music. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mr. Peters. Really appreciate your making time for this conversation. That too before you leave for the US on a concert tour. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome, and I'm happy to be on the show.
Great. So, Mr. Peters, you come from a family of musicians. Uh, I heard that your grandparents played the organ in the church and the violin and so on. And your
You
own
read that,
brother, Carl Peters, sorry?
you read that somewhere?
No, from your old interviews.
Correct. Not
Okay.
family.
And
My family were not musicians and such. They had music in them. They all are
musically inclined, right? But they played in the church, the organ and the violin. And your brother is a musician in Bombay, Carl Peters, very well known guitarist, bass
My
guitarist.
other brother in
So,
Delhi plays guitar.
in that sense, when did you know that, music in general and bass guitar in particular is your calling? When did you know that?
From the time I came to know music, because I started playing guitar, by watching my dad play, the music was in the house. Those days I'm talking about what, 67, 68, early 70s. Nothing, there's no TV, there was no media. So all of the radio. Correct. And my dad, just to amuse himself, he used to work on the railways. So for him, just to keep himself going in the evening, he used to come home and just play the guitar. The acoustic guitar, which he used to watch him play. So, it became so obvious that we learned so there's nothing else to do. And he used to show us how to play the guitar, and he used to learn from it. And so music was there. Then we play a song on the radio. He had a small record player, the gramophone like record.
Right.
Used to wind in here records, and so that's all that music and watch him play. And myself, I have two other brothers. There's a Carl one and other brothers, Maxi. So we used to learn from mine being the youngest. So I used to watch my dad playing, they'll watch my dad, and they'd show me. So it was like that, and then so on and so forth. Then my brothers were on his 8 years, and then me 5 years. So they started moving on. So when they finished, and our parents, when our parents who to compare the children, you must go to college, you must become a doctor, you become an engineer. They let us do what was good. So my brother Carl, after he finished high school, got straight into the music scene. Likewise, my other brother Max, and I followed next.
Right.
We got to play, and at that time, the hotel industry was flourishing. All the 5-star hotels, people used to play like in bands. So I joined that. So like that, that's like a musical beginning. Meaning self-taught means that from that we didn't go to any IDCL or FACL and study music as such. It was off the year. Then later on we took interest and started reading books
And developed your skills in that.
skills. Coming to the theory of music, and I used to watch my brother playing. Then he moved to Delhi and he started playing. And I was playing in Chennai.
So you mentioned earlier too in one of our chats before this interview that, for about a decade, beginning 1984, you were playing every night at a restaurant in what was at that time Adyar Park. and mostly your band would play the Beatles, Elton John, Eric Clapton, and the likes. So at
Yes.
that time, what was the Western music scene like in Chennai? I mean, who was the audience for this music, and what was the scene like for this kind of music?
Also in the hotels, and then that time, yeah, around that time, there will be a lot of shows, and you're going to bands coming from abroad. There used to be shows at the Music Academy or at Nandanam Golf Club, the YMCA. Yeah,
Grounds,
there
yeah.
was audience good for everything. That time, the Tamil film industry was, or whatever, the film music scene was not so big as it is now. You know, that time it was all mostly Western music, and alongside there used to be the Carnatic music going on, like the
Right,
Margali Festival, and that had its own streamline going on, and this kind of music, the Western music that we were playing and listening to, watching different bands, different musicians
right,
on different walks of life, young and old, all playing mostly Western music. And like to know more further, I come from a community called the Anglo Indians.
right,
You must have heard about that. Anglo Indians are full of music,
right,
music, dance, have their wine, enjoy themselves with music. So there's a like lot of Western stuff happening, and those days it was hard to get access to songs like how it is now. Because album
right.
releases in, let's take for example Hotel California, famous song. That was somewhere in '76. But the only you heard on the radio. And maybe a couple of months or years later, then someone gets a record from abroad and makes tapes and give it around. People then start listening to songs. That was our access to music. So any
Right.
show would do. Anybody come for a show, there'd be an audience for sure.
Mm,
Now it's more. I mean, I think I hate the film industry, Tamil music, Hindi music, or Bollywood. Now it's become more of that. And then there's also another genre of music called jazz. With very handful of people knew that they only Mr. Louis Banks in Calcutta, who was now in Bombay, and then everybody calls him the
okay.
godfather of jazz. So the music from there was coming also too. So we used to listen.
Right.
Basically, so that the radio or one of the albums come out, this everybody if it circulate to all the musicians, borrow, listen to it, make tapes. So that was the music scene then. Of course, there
Okay.
was the great Tamil stalwarts like M.S. Viswanathan, so Shivaraj, so they were doing their own thing at a really Tamil
Right.
audience.
So the landscape is at some level like, okay, there's a Carnatic music scene, then there's a film music scene with MSV and Ilayaraja at that time, and then an evolving Western music scene, as you say, where there was a lot of interest and excitement, even when accessing that music was not as easy, right?
Correct,
It was
correct,
a
correct.
different time.
Exactly.
So great. You spoke about playing at Adyar Park for 10 years, and I think that's when your encounter with A.R. Rahman happens in the corridor, which will shift your career path in a very significant way. Could you tell us about that
Correct.
incident?
Actually, I came to meet Rahman. So Rahman, get accomplished with him was in '85. While I was still playing at the hotel, and this the famous drummer Sivamani. He used to play in studios, and then at that time he was big time playing studios with the Viswanathan sir and others. And all these Telugu music directors. And he used to come to the hotel, and like I told you, he used to come and move with the Anglo Indians and play for dances and weddings, come and jam. And so he came to know us, and then he said, "You must come and see the studios, try and join the studios and play." But those days were a little tough because in the studios, there were only certain musicians who were like locked into the studio, no outside they could, and there were a set of musicians being called for work. So for a new person to enter, it was a little bit tough. But he used to take me and watch me. And there I met, very first in '85, right? Yeah, '85, I met Rahman, who was known as Dilip Shekhar. Used to play, young boys in school, and used to play for Telugu music directors and for Raja. So that's time I met him, and then we spoke a lot. He said, "Yeah, you," and I was playing some bass. Nice, you play. Maybe we should do something, That was over with the meeting. Then I joined this hotel from 80s. I was playing in the hotel, 84, 85, 86. During that course, I met him. He came to the hotel once. It was 87. Then I got married. Then 88, 89. Then somewhere around, the real thing happened was somewhere in 1990. When he moved off from playing for Raja and started doing his own stuff. He built a studio on his own and started doing his own jingles. And we used to come to the hotel just to have dinner where I was playing the night every night. So one day we met in the lobby and he said, "Yeah, Keith, you remember me?" I said, "Yeah, I met you some time back. Yeah, I'm really Dilip. You play a very good bass. I do a couple of jingles. Would you like to come and play?" I said, I didn't know what was that because I was a full time restaurant playing in the restaurant. So I didn't know what the recordings were. This I told you like I was to go and watch Sivamani and other guys playing in the studio. Then he said, "Yeah, this is my number." Again, 87, no phone, no pager, no mobile. I didn't even have a landline. I said, "Oh," he said, "Yeah." I said, "If you want me, you need to call me at the hotel." I was staying in a rented place where my landlord had a phone.
Okay.
So I said, "Oh, so you can try this number. They'll have to call me. Sometimes they're in the mood, they'll call me or they won't call me. But the best chance is get me around 8 o'clock at the hotel before I start playing. You can call the reception and ask. And I can come on a Monday. If you want in the evening, Monday, because Monday is my off day.
Right.
Monday night don't play. We used to get an off on Monday. Tuesday to Sunday was a playing time. Yeah, then he used to call me, kids, once in 3 months, once in 4 months. So I got the jingle like to come and play. He used to go, and he was like famous for working in the nights. So he likes to work night because he says no one disturbs you. No one will come to talk to you, and no one will come and bother you. Lock himself in the studio and be recording the whole night. Morning is sleep. So like that went 1991. Late 91. Late 91. His assistant called me. This guy talking Tamil. Sir, one of Cooper. Said, "Yaar, sir. Hey, Rahman, sir. We're wondering who's this." ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು worrying recording. I didn't know. I said, "I know. I'm little quizzical and not think." Okay. Now I said, "I'll come." You understand Tamil, no?
Yes, yes.
Anjumani vandre. It was a Friday. Anjumani vandre. Okay, I said, "I'll come. Let's see what is this." Because I had to be in the hotel by 8:15 latest to groom up, freshen myself and start playing at 8:30. And I went and he was there as usual, sitting, come, connect the guitar, play. So I was playing the, the most famous song which made it great. Choti Si Asha, Chennai Chennai.
Right.
That song was playing, he said, "Play." He had a bass line on the center. He said, "I want you to play the same thing on top of it." So I thought, what's a jingle? Jingle is an ad which finishes in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's the most time for a jingle. But this was a long, big song. I know it's a movie song. Or I don't know what, it's doing some TV serial. So as I was playing, I couldn't keep my mind, but I said, "I'm starting to mark it, finish." He said, "Play. So I have to finish because I need to go to the hotel." No, you'll finish it. What time is your hotel? I should have to be there by 8. You'll finish them. Playing around, yeah, about 6 o'clock. 6:30 I finished. And after finish, as I said, "Thank you very much." Wrapping my table and putting my gear. I said, "I want to ask you a question." "What is it? Is this a jingle? Or is they doing some documentary?" Or I still remember the expression and his face. Just did this. Be quiet. Don't tell anybody about this.
Right.
It's the first movie I'm getting. It's like a demo plus a movie. I'm trying. I hope it works. And he said, like when I talked to him he said, I hope it works. You're going to become a big star.
Wow. Okay. When you heard Chinna Chinna Asa, you knew that this is something else, right?
Yeah, because everything was there, the sound, the mix, the song, the melody and everything. And nothing against Raja sir, which later created great melodies, but it
Of
was something
course.
new, like a big boon to the film industry. This bass in the front, he had my bass up front, the rhythm, the program, the chords, and more on. But he's another Western boy. He like, listens a lot of Western music. He comes from that side. Although he used to play in the Tamil film industry, but his music is like from our side. Listening to Beatles, Eric Clapton, George Benson, Chick Corea. So his music was Michael Jackson. All that stuff was, the influence was there. I
Right.
said, this song will be a big hit. Go quietly. He said, don't say anything. I don't know. It's all left in God's hands. Hope it works. So I came home and I was like telling my wife the night I played for this guy. All night I was said, go to sleep. We weren't talking. Who's this guy? This hit music director. He played the song. I played for him. That was over. 3 weeks later, I get a call. The guy said, "Can we come?" So again, it was very evening, 5 o'clock. I went. It was this song, Kadal Roja. Roja
Right.
Janeman. Then I didn't ask him any more questions. I knew, oh, this is by the time I gathered information from the inside job, the guy working in the office, he had a small office in a setup.
Right. You did your own investigation. Okay.
Slowly, then he assisted. Why come here, sir? யார்கிட்ட சொல்லாதீங்க. படம் பேர் ரோஜா மணிரத்னம் சார் word மணிரத்னம், he didn't know. Anyway, this was taking a little bit long because Sujata was singing. He said, after 6 things only you can play.
Hmm.
It was a Saturday. Saturday we started at 9, but I was playing, and I started playing around 8 o'clock. He started. I said, boss, I have to go to work. He said, you and your work today, not going to work. He said, you're not going to play. I said, oh my God, I'll lose my job because that only was my income.
Yeah.
Although it was little less money, and it was a steady income monthly, and I was married, child, this, that. As time finished first, he exactly finished at 9 o'clock. But 9 o'clock I should be in the hotel. From the studio to the hotel takes about half an hour. So I just jumped into an auto. I just told him, yeah, this is a very great song, very fine. This too is going to become a big hit. Go, 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 go. I late for the hotel. And so I went late to the hotel. I had to give
Right.
some excuse. I said, wife was not well. I had to take her to the doctor. So I couldn't tell her that late for recording and come here. So that way, I said, next time, please call me in the morning. I can't tell you that.
Right.
When I need you only, I call you. He got little,
Hmm.
Like that 2 or 3 occasions I've been going late to work. Then the hotel people came to know that I'm doing something. I think you're simply saying someone died, someone not well. You're going for a recording and coming somewhere. If someone died or someone sick, why will you take a guitar and go to the hospital? But I said, there's nobody come and take it from my house to play, and there's no substitute. So they used to play with the bass player, which is very important bass. I'll come to that later. Anyway, that is the So the years went by, but somehow, sometimes I tell him, call me after I play in the hotel. I finish by 12, and in case you work in the night. After the hotel, I'll come. Okay, we'll do that, he said. Then did this, and then he said, I think you'll have to leave your hotel because I'll call you. And then he started getting big. Then came Pudya Mugam.
Right.
Then came this Pudu Velai Madai and
Yeah.
Tamira. Then came July Madam.
Hmm.
And then came Gentleman, 83, 84. 93,
Early
sorry.
90s, no? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. 93, 94. Then he said, you better tell your hotel boss that you have to leave the hotel. And those days to find that, I'm not boasting, I was the only best there around.
Hmm.
There were 1 or 2, but to find one was difficult. So I tell my boss, who was a lady, she was a singer, name was Anu. I had to tell her that finally after spill the beats here and got involved with this Rahman recording. I don't think I can do justice to my job because he works only in the night, so I think I'll have to leave now. What he'll say. So I'm giving you 6 months time to find a bass player. So in 6 months, find somebody. Told them somewhere in August, yeah, beginning August. I told them. I said December 31st, 84, I leave. Nah,
Right.
94, sorry, 94. I leave. Yeah, they said, oh. Then I told him, he said, "Pa, no, you can come and play anytime." Then it started, Rangila, Bombay.
The whole journey. Sure.
Then
Of
it never.
course.
Then I started playing. Then everybody started hearing about me playing for them. Other guys,
Yeah.
Yuvan Shankar Raja, Karthik Raja,
Hmm.
Mani Sharma.
Right.
So my journey was on. Then touring with him for all the show.
Sure. So just before we get into more about your work with Rahman over the years, I wondered, if you can tell our audience a little bit about the bass guitar itself. It's said to be the lowest pitched guitar, right? That we hear
Yes.
in most songs, and long neck, and I believe 4 strings, and now 5, 6 are
I
also
see.
available. So
Yes.
please tell us a little about this instrument and also what it takes to use this for Indian film music, which is not strictly Western, no? So how do you adapt this instrument to incorporate its sound to Indian film music?
See, first of all, to understand music, I can go from the basics. Music is melody, rhythm, and melody, harmony, and rhythm. I'm trying to explain it so that the normal person will understand.
Please, yeah. No, this is great, yeah.
That is music. Melody, harmony, and rhythm, and good ear. We have these four, that is music. Melody is what is the tune is. That's called the melody. Now the harmony is what is the people play the chords either from the keyboard or the guitar or whatever it is. The lead instrument as we call it. That's the harmony. And the rhythm is the time. Like a song, like now, like okay, it's take Chinna Chinna say. It's like in a 4 time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So that's the time. And the different there's also time called 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So music is built on all these things. Now where the bass guitar and then music, there's classical music, there's western pop music, So film music comes from the pop music side only. The way it's structured. There's no way it comes classical, except Raja sir used one or two classical compositions and composes music, and he's a very big classical, classical man. So you take a lot of classical music and that's totally different from the Western music, which they brought it into the film music. Now there again, so the film music is more pop, like from the Western side, like I'm repeating that thing. So they make a melody. Now the bass guitar role is, they say the bass guitar is the foundation or the fourth or the bottom end because it has a low note. Like if you like any song, if you want to refer to a Rahman song, the keyboard and the guitar is the higher register instruments. Bass guitar is supposed to play the low notes, a single note which supports those instruments.
Right.
Like, sort of like a fusion. Now, if you want to take Chinna Chinna, say the whole song is like, I can't say I'm a very bad singer, but
right.
That's I just make the bass. I want to play the guitar to and show you, but what the bass does, bass plays a low that. So you get the low register. So I don't know if you're able to know as we read music, it's plays music in this kind of form. You've seen the music sheet?
Yes. With the lines and the notes.
Line
right?
and they call the steps. So the high registers is the guitar, the instrument, and the low thing is the bass. So it's built like this. That's called the harmony. The bass is here, and the guitar will be here, the keyboard will be here, the strings and the voices. As it goes higher, the music goes up like that.
Right.
Bass is the bottom. So bass guitar is basically the foundation, the font.
Foundation, like an underlying base that holds everything together.
Correct.
And you're saying every other sound is a layer which also goes higher in register.
There is the harmony, and the strings go alongside. And according to the chord progression, they write the harmony and the arrangement. So that's how a song is made.
Right, right.
If you remove the bass of the song will drop.
Everything else rests on that, right?
If you listen to it, especially, and why Rahman was more. Okay, Raja sir was there too, but Raja's writing was more classical. He used to use bass only like in the cellos and double bass, and write really like bass parts. Many of his songs. That was Rahman program, but here the bass was like more fully classical.
The Punnagai Mannan theme, right? Yeah.
Punnagai Mannan, Nayagan theme, all these things. Very classical. Rahman came with a more pop sound and brought the bass like how this sounds in the English field, like a Michael Jackson tune, like No Problem, so No Problem on the heavy rhythm, and programming. Rahman was heavy into programming. Raja was not.
Okay.
So that was there again quite the difference with the sound. And Rahman himself.
So you're saying, is it correct to say that you're saying that, you know, in both musical imagination or influence, both come from different places, but also in the processing and programming of the produced sound, their approach is very distinct, right?
Distinct. He was more producer. And he had a very good engineer with him. He used to work with him. It was late Sridhar passed away.
Mr. Sridhar, no? H. Sridhar, yeah.
Yeah, he was a good, he had good knowledge of music and sound.
Right.
So they both used to sit together and record and mix. And they always used to call me in the end when they finally mixing the song, because when Rahman heard the song, and sometimes then after that, little later when computers came in and electronics got a little heavy, they started using keyboard bass. So it's like not the bass guitar, bass on the keyboard. Sometimes it works, but sometimes for some song it doesn't work. It sounds too weak. So Rahman say, okay, we'll call Keith to play the bass. So that's the time both these guys will sit with me and we'll record. That's most of the recording was in there. So that's the bass.
Right. Okay. So, you know, working with Rahman, I know you've played in so many songs composed by him. I can immediately think of, say, Kadal Sadguru, Rangila, Dil Sere, Mustafa, Kalluri Salai, Adiradi. I'm more familiar with his Tamil music work.
Yes.
But, so what is it like typically working with him in his studio? Are you usually are you given fully composed bits of music, and does he say, okay, please play this, or do you improvise and then he mixes and matches? What happens?
Well, yeah, I think I told you, he always wants me in the ending when he's mixing the whole song. He's got to get, like I said, the bass is the foundation that supports the full. So here the song, like say Kadal Sadguru, it had only first a small guitar line because it played so high. Then he called me and said, can you play the same thing on the bass? But gets done. So that's when I played it. Now you know the difference how the bass made it sound.
Absolutely. Now we can't think of that song without this sound, the bass sound. No, we can't imagine that song without it.
Yes, so the certain things like he said, like for Carl, so he said try and play the same thing. But all his other recordings, apart from Chennai, he say you play. If it's good, he'll take it. If he wants any changes, he'll say, can you make this slight change? Or sometimes he's very particular what he plays, he'll want me to play the same thing. Like Dil Se Re and especially Jia Jale. Jia Jale, it's a beautiful song, but he had a bass line in his mind, so he wanted. He said, I know it's boring, you have to play the same thing, but play this. Mustafa, again, he had some kind of a sample thing. He said, okay, again, Keith, you play on top of it. And after you take another take, you do another dub, you do your own stuff. But the main thing I was playing was. Then in between, I think. I was playing all that. Yeah, that he took on a separate take. So that's why, again, he mixes and matches. Okay, then Rangila. There's something in the bass guitar which is, you want to tell people about bass guitar. Yeah, this is called finger style. Just to show you, this is called. Yeah. This is one style of playing.
Right.
Now the Rangila and from the movie Indian.
Yeah, Akkada Nanga Oda Pota, yeah.
That's another kind of style you play, which is called, known as slapping.
Okay.
Which I do then. It's called slap. That's another style you use on the bass.
Right.
So these two things are the. If you want, this is more like a kind of flashy stuff or fancy stuff like Osaka Moraba. Osaka with 1 2 4. So that is slap and the finger style you play.
Right.
And according to the song, yeah. Sometimes you just, what you play, you say, yeah. Because there was one song, very, okay, you can talk about that later if you want to ask me any more questions. Anyway.
Sure. Okay.
And a very good person to record. No temper, no anger, nothing.
Right.
Smile. And then he'll say, he'll come there and he'll wait and go there some 2 in the afternoon. But that time I left work, so he knows. Okay, it's come, okay, tell him to wait. Let him have lunch, have dinner. Night, it's come 3 in the morning, he'll call me, come and record. Then he'll say, sorry, I made you wait so long. You're playing, your waiting time is more than your playing time. You waited for 9 hours, but you played in half an hour. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then from 96 started his tours. That is a very nice person, very humble, no pride, no nothing, very religious. It's all about music only.
Right. Working with Rahman and what the experience is like. One is, of course, the versatility of this instrument. You showed us the different ways of producing sound with your fingers. Yeah. But the other is, what did this experience mean to you as a musician? Because you were playing for a band, Western music, and I would think that unless it's jazz, you don't get to improvise so much. You're playing, set pieces of music. But here, you're also being pushed to come up with new options to go with what he's composed, and that must have been exciting for you as a musician, right?
Yeah. You might think I'm a boring character. So I now used to feel like, yeah, some tunes used to be a challenge. And to be honest with you, I was playing in the hotel, playing on the pop songs, as a job. But my basic love for music is jazz. So jazz is it's another genre, different genre altogether, where you got to really study and understand that music. Because that involves a lot of playing scales and practicing. No, the different approach to the music. Because there, when a pianist is playing, how you accompany the piano player. Then he plays and he tells you play. So all this helped me to use that ideas and use it in the songs when he used to call me to play. So I used to do another thing. I used to practice a lot. We're not bragging. The biggest thing is if you want to really do well, practice. Like they say, practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
I was doing no other job other than playing music. So all morning, I'll be at home. My wife will be gone to work. I'll be sitting at home, looking after my daughter. She'll be small. I'll be keep on practicing. Whenever I'm free, Lord, whenever I'm free, I practice.
Right.
So all by playing all the doing my personal practice, all those ideas were in my head. So I used to use it. I used to do all this kind of things. I mean, the slapping and the plucking,
Right.
all. And he also comes from that side. He too loves all that kind of music, Rahman. So he used to connect. I used to make sense. Ah, yeah, that
Right.
sounds good. That line sounds good. Understand until he's very particular about bass lines. Keep play that. Don't playing too little busy. Play a little less.
Mm.
Do this. That too with a smile. No anger,
Right.
shouting or temper.
So it
Life
was very
shows it.
easy and pleasant to work with him.
Yeah. After,
Yeah.
in the last one I played for Thug Life.
Okay. Okay.
And here is usual.
Wonderful.
This came. This
Right.
came. And this time now, after a couple of years, go back, let's say from 16, 17. He just come in because he's got a school and he got students working for, like studying there. So their thing, when they study, it's kind of internship. They get to work in the studio. So he'll just compose a tune and give it to them and they'll do some programming and recording. So he'll come, tell them, Ozzy, just record him. Don't tell him what to do. Keith, you play and you go. I said, you're not sitting. No, no. You know what to play. You play. I'll see about it later. So
So
that's,
over the years, I think, yeah, there must be a great chemistry and trust between the composer and the artist. So he knows what you will do and
yeah,
how it will fit into his work. Yeah, yeah. And Mr. Peters, is there a song where you think you pushed yourself out of your comfort zone and you were made to play something very different to what you were used to or something new? Is there some experience like that you would like to recall?
with Rahman, most of his stuff is, he knows what he wants. So it's not so difficult. Except, yeah, I can tell you the name of a certain song. He was very particular about it. Like, take the very Kuluvalile.
Ah, yes.
He wanted the real particular sound. So the sound is too loud. Play like that, play like this. Slightly, he was getting a little bit, not angry, a little tense. Can you play with a pig? Pig is a like, not a pig.
Right.
No?
Yeah.
I said, I don't play. What you don't play with the pig? You can't play with the pig. I said, no, I never used to. Okay, we'll try something else. Take a coin and play. Take finger, take this. What got to the session took long, as it normally takes. That was one situation.
Did you actually
Uh,
play it with a coin then?
no. Finally, I played with my fingers on it. Then
Right.
set it. And he wanted the little fat sound or whatever. Anyway, that
Right.
was done.
No, that's a very interesting superimposing of voice on that sound because even Kuluvalile, this is like the defining structure of the song. And then you get Udit Narayan's voice and placed over it in a way, no?
It goes on and
Yeah,
gets intricate the line.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Another one was, you asking me all the experience. Another one was Pupuku Rose,
Oh, right,
which
yes.
Minsarika, the main song.
Mm,
Pupuku Rose, da 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 da
yeah,
da da.
Sujata's
There's a,
melody.
there was one section. They call it like no this. I mean, if you want me to go a little more detailed into the song things, in this song, film songs, there's something called a BGM. There's a Pallavi. You must be. Then there's a BGM. There's a Charanam. Whatever.
Yes.
Pallavi is a verse. Charanam is a chorus, and whatever. There was a BGM. It comes in the second period. Yeah, but
Yeah,
voice now. And suddenly you want me to do something like I told you, the other style of singing. You're playing, singing.
mm,
It's not cutting through. It's playing like this. You try this, try this, try this. Play this only, but I won't hear the notes. I want this kind of percussive thing. By the way, this is also called a percussive. I played
right.
that again took some time.
Okay.
Then I mean people again. Another one. I mean I hope it doesn't there the snow. Anyway, another thing, the recording was, it was for some Hindi movie. I don't remember the name. He came, he played the song. He said, okay, Sridhar and myself with that. Okay, play. I'm going. Sridhar, I'm going to record kid. I'll come back and listen to it. And he went away. This is a fun situation which turned out to be little.
Okay.
That's the only time I saw him getting angry.
Okay.
And you see the Rahman went out. So Sridhar was very happy. Only both of us. Come on, you play what you want to play. Now you play all your jazz and this. Oh, Sridhar, this is a film song. Okay, how to play jazz? Come on, let's have a ball. He's not yours. He play. This is. I said, don't know. He was giving me unconventional lines, not related to the film lines. Like I said, he won't like it. He won't hear it after this. I am only going to mix it and send it. No, he'll come in here. And he said, play. We finished. He came within 45 minutes. He looked at I finished so fast. It finished. Let me see what you played. I want to hear it. It's to see the play. He just looked at them. And he looked at me. You can see him like getting angry and sarcastic. He said, I called you, as usual, to save this song. Make this song so good, but you messed up the song. Now both of you go outside and sit down. I'll see you later.
It's like,
Okay.
Teacher saying stand up on the bench moment. Huh?
Exactly. Both of you go outside and sit down. Go, have tea and go. We used to smoke for beers. What did you do? You spoiled the song. I wanted you to say, but you went play. I said, yeah, ask him. He only asked me that. Oh, I don't do anything. I said, just play. You said what to play. I told you. I said, oh, Sridhar and we were fighting. I said, you said play all this. Okay, we'll see what we can do. No, you two go outside. Oh, Sridhar. Both of you go outside. Then he sat and he did something, remixed it. Sridhar said, Keith, I'm going home. All the best for you. It was 7:30, 8:30, 90. It's about 2:33 he calls me. Come. All were gone. So I was sleeping on the sofa. He only came and tapped me. Come. No place. I played it. See, no, you played the right thing. And then he laughed. Yeah. I rearranged the song. I had too much of stuff happening. That's what you and both of you got excited. I made it simple. And he laughed. That was it. Last one. That's not, it's more tension. If you remember the song called Ek Mohabbat Hai, if you follow all the song, he was doing something for the Taj Mahal.
Right.
It's called One Love, Ek Mohabbat Hai.
Mm.
That was a very thing because in 3 or 4 days we were leaving for the US. But we still haven't got a visa. You know, this US. Make you come and wait for visa, stand the line. It was in 2007. That time we had to go early. 8 o'clock interview means you have to be there by 6:30, standing with your papers and on the road.
Cathedral Road, and you're on that. Okay.
Correct, it's right. So I was standing there, waiting the other musicians in the line, waiting. Is suddenly one his manager or his boy comes in. In our line and sir would have cooked the recording. He said, Harmony, I didn't bring my guitar, I'm coming straight. No, he wants it now for recording. He said, I don't have my guitar. What recording? Oh, go home and get a guitar and leave. I said, what to put this interview? You leave all that, don't worry. He said, sir said, you come. I said, what? I haven't told the people who are trying, the agency was trying to get, they want me out of this line. Okay, Rahman, sorry, you go then. I can help you. So I took all my papers back, went home. I said, what happened? He said, no, you go. Took my guitar, went to the studio sitting. Come. I said, what happened in the line? Don't worry about all you play now. The song has to go now within the next 2 hours to the president. So I wanted to play immediately. I said, I've not heard the song. As he's playing, you play. I said, Rahman, I need to listen to the song. You can listen to it. Come on, listen. 5 minutes. Fast. First time I started getting frightened, tremble, getting worried. I just can't enter. He said, play. Said, I want you to finish it in 10 minutes. We played. That's the one I played. He said, yeah, very good. One take. I said, what about my interview? Don't worry. I spoke to you. You go tomorrow for your interview. Don't go. So that song, that's a, I don't know what kind of experience. I was like all tense and worried. I'm trying to play, and he said, "Very good, you played in one. See, that is you. You played in one day." I said, "You made me so tense." Don't worry, give your papers late. You'll get your interview.
What happened to the visa? Did you get it?
Yeah, next day I got it. He spoke to someone. I went there separately in the line, and alone I went the next day and got it.
Okay, great. Right. So,
He
Mr.
spoke to
Peters,
some.
I know. Sorry?
No, he spoke to somebody, and
Right, right. You're also a teacher and you're training many students in playing the bass guitar. So, when you teach them, what's the repertoire you cover and how do you approach teaching, this form and this playing this instrument?
very good thing because the time I started playing, and I wouldn't boast of and say, like people started recognizing me and talking about years. 2005, 6, many people used to approach me and say, "Can you teach?" I said, "No, I'm not into teaching. Teaching is not my scene. What, so can you teach? Can you do you want to learn?" I said, "See, I'm very busy. I'm traveling. I can't, devote myself to time and this." And so people used to left that. But some people used to say, I said, "No, boss, I don't teach. I don't teach. I don't teach." When came the teaching, when I had to do it was COVID.
Hmm.
On the onslaught of COVID, everything was stopped. There was no recording, there was no shows, there was no. So I was home. What to do? Okay, you need some money to income, but sitting at home and this and that. Then I started calling everybody and said, then again, people are phoning me. "No, yeah, at home, do you like to teach?" Okay, I said, "Okay, now what choice do you have?" So that's how the teaching came. To put it for you to understand fully. Then I started teaching. So my teaching experience is only 4 5 years, and now
Right.
it's continuing. And so teaching, I teach like how I learned. I teach them first of all the fingering for your finger practice, finger exercises, the left hand, the right hand, the
Right.
scales, how to train your ear, how to listen to songs, and mainly practice. Some students, I'm not talking bad about. Some students, 1 or 2 classes, they'll learn and say, "Yeah, where did it gone?" Other students, soon they learn 2 or 3 classes, how you play this song, how do you play that song, how you play
Right.
Kadal Sadugudu, how you play.
Hmm.
See, if you ask me on that, stop off.
Hmm.
If you want to learn, I'll teach you. Then you should learn properly. You should know what's it. And I also don't teach bass. Bass is, like I said, the foundation, but you also have to know about the guitar and the keyboard. You know,
Sure.
got to know your theory. Because
Hmm.
bass is one note. Like I'll give you an example. The guitarist plays in it's an A chord. A. You need to play an A bass. You can't play a bass that bass only supported that. You know to know your chords on the guitar and the keyboard. So I teach them all that and exercise and then when I find them getting it, then I give them tests. I said, "No, okay. You want to read little music? I'll teach you how to read music." But another good thing, nothing against reading and against the book. Play a song and try to hear the song. Train your ears. That's how I came up. Finally, it's a ear. What ear is very important for music. Try and figure out chords without like looking at a book. Because if you get used to a book, then for everything you'll need a book. And then your creativity goes.
Hmm.
Unless the producer wants to play like Raja sir gives or Rahman and your big violin part to play and you have to play that. But then you read and play. But when the song is given to you, you use your imagine it, feel and play,
Hmm.
That's violin. Music again is from the soul. How you feel like playing. So that's it easy. And my students have reduced because they started moving again, traveling and this. But there are still
Okay.
students. Not at how much it was. For past 2 years in COVID, I used to start from 9 in the morning to 9 in the night. Every 2 hours, one student. Another one, that's teaching.
No, I'm sure the students appreciate this because you bring so much experience over the years and you're willing to generously share technique with them. And as you say, I mean, such an important point that the ear is foremost in this whole exercise of understanding and playing music. That was
Yeah.
amazing. No,
In
thank
middle
you
of
very
what?
much. Yeah, sorry, tell me.
No, in middle of what? Whether you're a singer or an instrumentalist, a guitar player, a violin, or even a drummer. He too has to be sound and he has to know music. That's because he plays drums. He doesn't have to know, I don't know chords, I don't know music. You should know the theory. You should, especially when you're playing in a band situation. Everybody has to complement each other.
Absolutely.
So listen and play and listen to the others too. Don't think you know everything. Nobody knows everything in music. Music is a vast ocean. You still learn. Even today, I still learn. If I play something, I might learn something new about the bass guitar, which I don't know. So you have to keep at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, who is your favorite bass guitarist of all time?
Favorite bass guitarist. There was a great bass player from he's a jazz guitarist, jazz bass guitarist. I mean, I don't think you heard of him. Or maybe he came in the 70 from 74 to 87. He died.
Okay,
His name is Jacob Pastoris. You can look up him.
okay,
He came and revolutionized the whole bass in terms of jazz. I
okay.
mean, other bass players are there like Marcus Miller, Paul McCartney. They're all my favorite bass. But this guy came.
Hmm.
I told you, like my favorite music type of music is learning jazz. He came and did something with the instrument. Like he removed the frets and made it into a fretless.
Oh,
You know
wow,
what's a fret?
okay,
So he's a guy, great bass
right.
player.
So the
Then of
sound would
course,
have completely changed and become so seamless, right? It's
yes,
yeah.
fretless. You know, Yenna
Yes.
one of the B James after Ganesh, you know Ganesh, the violin player, he plays in a
Yeah,
solo.
yeah.
After
Mm-mm.
one thing, that's a fretless thing, right?
Right, right.
Smooth. There's
Wow.
no fret. You don't get these notes.
Right.
He has got frets. I have to take out the fretless. Just imagine a guitar without this
Of course, like the
fretless.
violin, right? Without the fret,
Exactly.
you can. Yeah, right.
So he's a favorite. And then of course my brothers also play like him. So after that came my next idol is my brother Carl. He's
Okay,
played for big.
okay,
He's played for Louis Banks and all this big.
okay.
So that's and my advice for musicians. I know you're going to ask me that
No,
practice.
no, but please give. Yeah,
If you're learning an instrument, practice. Trust yourself. Play the music. That's it. Do justice to it. And especially practice. But I know not everybody. I'm not against that. All the young boys into production and ED and electronic stuff. But if you want to be like a true musician and play.
thank you very much, Mr. Peters. This has been such a fascinating conversation with you, and really appreciate you breaking down these concepts and really explaining to us what the bass guitar does in a piece of music and what the artist brings to that. Really appreciated your insights, and thank you so much. And safe travels to you before you leave on a long tour. Thank you very much.
After they will come.